back to my channel. My name is Blessing and you're welcome to subscribe to my channel. I've seen that a lot of people watch and not subscribe. Please subscribe when you watch, and I really appreciate all of you who already subscribe. And when you do subscribe, please hit that notification bell so you get to know when I upload a new video. So moving on, I just want to talk about this tragic story of a Nigerian mom that has lost 3 of her children to an accident in Canada. And yeah, 3 children. I mean, this is so disheartening. I don't know, I can never say I know what she's going through or what it feels like, but you know, I have children myself and I feel so sad for her, especially with all the struggle of living abroad. The news has it that she has lived abroad for the past 8 years. She came from Nigeria with 2 of the children. One is 11, the eldest, and the other one is 10, and the youngest is 6. She had it, the youngest one, there in Canada. So she came with the first 2 from Nigeria to Canada. For the past 8 years, she has been trying to regularize her stay. Yes, and she has been going through that struggle, and middle of December they brought a letter of negative decision, and negative decision means that they rejected your application, that you will not be granted that stay that you're looking for. So she had to go and appeal to the authorities, and she had to travel to the capital city, that is Toronto. And so on her way back from Toronto, that's where this incident happened, and she veered off the highway and hit the rocks, and that's it. She just lost her children. This is a very sad story. This is really tragic, and the police are looking into it, and they said they cannot find any reason why she veered off the highway. Like they cannot find, they don't understand why she veered off the highway, what happened, you know. So I don't know how to say it or whatever to say, but you know, there's nothing you can say that is going to bring back the children. This is such a tragedy. Like, how can a mom lose 3 of her children at the same time? You know, I mean, there's nothing you can say. There's no blame for her. You cannot say, oh, you should not have traveled with the children. You know, here in the diaspora, in abroad, nobody is going to take care of your children for you. You don't have omodo or house help, wanga, all those kind of a thing. You just have to take care of your children by yourself or with your partner, you know, or your husband or your wife. You cannot just have children and be just going up and about. The government will take hold of those children. You will not have any children anymore. So it's a pity that this kind of thing happened. But one thing struck me when they were interviewing this mom, and she made a statement. Let me quote her. My son Destiny said, no, I'm not going back to Nigeria. I want to live in Canada. I would rather die than be deported. Today, my son is going to be buried in Canada. So this statement is pointing to the fact that maybe she told the children about the impending deportation, and the children said they would rather die than go back to Nigeria. So in as much as we talk about all the benefit of living abroad, I think we should also not forget to talk about the challenges of living abroad, especially the challenges of, you know, becoming legal and having legal documentation if you came in through any of the means that is not legal, which a lot of people do. Or maybe, you know, someone can say you should come and visit and you kind of, you know, took advantage of that or whatever. I personally, I don't have anything against it. If anybody wants to do anything they want to do to help themselves, you know. But what I don't like, or what I really feel sorry for, is when people would rather die than go back to Nigeria. I mean, you just have some benefits, you know. It's not the end of the world. God is still making way for millions of people in Nigeria. We are just a few hundred, a few million that came out of Nigeria. The bulk of Nigerians are still there, you know. And even as we are hoping and advocating for the restoration of Biafra, or in, you know, restructuring anything that will better the lot of Nigeria, we are always hopeful that something good will come out of it. And it's not that we just want to abandon it, and when push comes to shove, you will say you want to die. You know, look at what happened in South Africa. People thought their life was going good, everything was going on well, their businesses, and all of a sudden riot broke out. They started burning their shops and their life were in danger. A lot of people died and the rest had to go home with their lives. So in this time like this, you realize that life is also something. It's something. When you have life, it's something, and when you have health, it's something. For me personally, the main benefit I see living abroad is the health care that is available. Because if you want to have good health care in Nigeria, you have to have money, go to high-end hospitals or like travel abroad, something like that. But if you don't have that kind of means, you're going to have a lot of trouble if you fall sick, like seriously sick. Yeah, that is the real benefit that I see abroad. Otherwise, there are so many other challenges. And for people in Canada and America, I know it's different for them. And for us here in Germany and in Europe, the reality is also different. But all this said, I always see people trying to kill themselves, or, threatening their children with going to Nigeria, those kind of a thing. I just want to say, this is my own thinking. You can say what you think in the comment section, that as bad as Nigeria is, we should not put fear in the hearts of our children. We may have our fears, our doubts, but we should not put that fear, and the fear will put it in our children when we threaten them with Nigeria. So when you threaten somebody with a place, it's a place they would never want to go, because it's almost like hellfire. But when we talk about that place with them, and make it interesting, they at least they may want to go and see how it is. So it's a tragedy, and I just hope that we can know that if push comes to shove, we should be able to accept it and go home. Like here in Germany, like there's a lot of resentment right now because of all these Arabs that are coming here in Europe, and you don't know how this will develop. And if anything should happen in the Middle East again, people will start coming again. The whole crisis will be building up. I think that when push comes to shove, we should have the mindset that we can always go home. And this is something that we can always think about, and take it to heart, that it's not going to be the end of life. I'm not saying that you should go and be building house at home and all that. We know a lot of people take advantage of other people. It has happened to me and all that. But I know there's a way to circumvent it, and you can actually set your mind to it, and be resolute about it. I don't see why somebody should die, or somebody will be so afraid of going to Nigeria. You never know. After all, we came out from there. We came out from there when we were growing up. Maybe most of us, nobody would have thought that we would actually come out, but we did. And so what's the big deal? As long as there is life, God will always make a way. Yeah, I just wanted to share this sad story with you all, and to encourage every one of us not to lose faith in God, no matter the situation, to have faith. I realize that a lot of Nigerians think about having faith by who you are praying with, or the church you are going to, and all those kind of things. But faith is actually something personal. It's just you and your God. When you really have that faith, and unmovable faith in your Creator, you are very, very, very strong in your mind, and yeah, you have that kind of peace that only God can give. So yeah, I feel sorry for the mom, and I hope that God will give her the fortitude to bear this loss. Only God knows. We don't know anything. Yeah, just like back in the day, there is this saying in Yoruba that they translate in English: we are nothing but pencils in the hands of the Creator. So yeah, I see it like that. We are nothing but pencil in the hand of the Creator. So we don't know anything. I also remember that when I was in secondary school, in boarding school, in the Southeast, there was this pastor that was very popular then. Popular, very popular, like Adeboye them and Oyedepo them. And his name is Omar Okpai. Then, and it was in the news. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I think I understood it that he had an accident, and members of his family died in that accident. And when he came came to preach. You know, he used to hold large crusades in those days in the East, and he made a statement. He said, what's the worst thing that can happen to you? And so we as children in those days, we internalized it. And especially for me myself, because I lost my mom at that time when I was very young. And you know, so at the back of my mind, I always say it, Kenke Kanjoge, man, what's the worst thing that can happen to me? You know, and so this was some kind of consolation for me. You know, where whatever life throws at me, I just look at it that, you know, life goes on. And so my mother's death taught me that life goes on. It doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter how you grieve. You know, the sun will go up and down until when the time comes again. So I just really pray to God Almighty to give her the fortitude to bear this loss, and he knows best. And we, you know, we sing a song, unquestionable is the Lord. We cannot question God. We have to accept it as God deems it. Yeah, that will be it for today. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and take care of yourselves. Have a nice time. Bye bye.